Hello, this is Gary Wishon, the Happy Heathen. Now, I'm doing a continuation of my previous video, Religious Fear, or as I'm thinking right now, the absolute certainty of silliness of certain absolutes. Now, fear is a good motivator. In the ancient times, they had no shortage of tools to make you afraid because intelligence, knowledge was almost unheard of. It's a very fearful time. Everything was unknown. A lot of shit was unknown. Therefore, it's God. Fine example of how people just assume religion's the answer. A religion du jour. Classical Greek God myths. Unlike Christianity, the classical belief in Zeus and the Olympus gods, they had physical proof that the Olympus gods existed. How would you think? How do you think the Christians would love to have something like that? Physical proof of God, something to point to. No, I'm not full of shit. Let me explain. See, what we now know is about dinosaurs. They had no clue. One fine day in Greece, some poor bastard was trying to plow his field, came across an odd-looking rock. In an effort to get it the hell out of the way so he can go back to plowing, he dug it up. And it's a big fuck ton of a leg bone. He took this to the only authority he knew of, the high priests. And what did they think? That's the leg bone of a titan. Obviously, that's a leg bone. Only thing that big was titans. We've come across the graveyard of the gods. That's not all. You know the stories of griffins? That was traced back to pterodactyl. It's like a Warshop test. But with every odd creature, in their minds, they went to their mythology and said, well, that's a griffin, that's a dragon, that's a titan. But in their time, they thought this was absolute proof of the gods. Until Christianity pretty much slaughtered them. What was left by that time Christianity came onto the field, they had proof. It was certainty. It was absolute. The gods existed. Now we know the dinosaur bones. Another absurdity. Everyone said, back in the day, tomatoes will kill you. It was called the dreaded wolf peach. Google it. You'll be surprised. I'm not bullshitting you. People actually thought that tomatoes were poisonous. If you try to eat a tomato in front of loved ones, they would pounce on you to try to keep you from committing suicide. I shit you not. This is absolute certainty. This was widely held knowledge that the wolf peach would be poisonous. Well, what you thought, what we put on pizza top, as part of pizza toppings, they would consider it a suicide attempt. Now, look at what people do now today. Fire's hot, absolute certainty. Water's wet, absolute certainty. God exists. Okay. Let's isolate the belief in God. Now, let's separate that from religion and look at religion. If God does exist, does Christianity or Islam have any chance in hell of being a good example of what God really thinks or what God really believes? What are the chances of God giving people the capacity to love, a just and loving God doing this, giving you the capacity to love, then saying, oh, wait a second, hold on. You can't love someone of your own sex. That's icky. You're going to hell, young man, young lady. You're not supposed to go with somebody of your own sex. Oh, bear in mind that if you go with your sister, apparently you're fine, or your mom, that's okay, because incest is all throughout the fucking Bible. But your own sex? Oh, hell no. It just cracks me up when I hear the apologists say, oh, see, back in the day that there's a different radiation and you didn't have genetic mutations when you inbreed. That's why mankind reached a level now from inbreeding, and that's why there's a difference between if you have sex now and had sex back then. There was no mutations back then, but there's mutations now. And I say, bullshit! But they need inbreeding to explain how the population got to now. Absolute fucking absurdity. There's a huge fuck. If someone who's watching this video is struggling with their sexual desire and the Bible, keep this in mind. As long as it's a consensual relationship with someone who's outside of your family, I don't give a care what the Bible says or what your sneaky uncle is suggesting. Two logical problems. One, no one can do that and not be emotionally and mentally fucked up. That's self-evident because you, for one, I don't give a care what kind of Oedipus complex you have. Ew. Two, it's one of the reasons why you're not supposed to sleep with your therapist, because they take on the role of a parent figure. Sleeping with your therapist after a certain point is a lot like sleeping with your parent. That will fuck you up emotionally and mentally. And then there's the genetics. You know, Hitler's father was originally named, what was it? Hitler's father went by a different name. He went to use Hitler as his last name because he wanted to marry his niece. Schickelgruber. Yeah, Schickelgruber. I think it was Schickelgruber. Schickelgruber? Yeah, I think it was Schickelgruber. I used to be so good at history. But when you have two people with the same last name trying to get married, ew. You change the name of one of those two people and, hey, fuck it. It's a huge difference between that and a consenting adult. Don't get hung up on religion. If you have same-sex attraction and you're about to commit suicide because religion tells you you're going to hell, don't. The only reason why it's in the Bible, I think, is because back in the day, the death rate was like water. It was everywhere. It was just, people had to have 10 children just so at least 2 of them would carry on the bloodline. Like I said in my gay rights video, the only reason why it's in the Bible because 2 dudes can't make a baby. You can keep trying all you like, wear a condom, but not gonna happen. So they had to put a stop to anything that got in the way of more children being born. But don't let this hang up about the Bible keep you from doing what you want as far as that's concerned. It's not like water's wet, fire's hot, God's going to put you into hell for a same-sex attraction. Now, why would God give you the capacity to love and then do this switcheroo on you? Oh, wait. You want to love someone of your own sex? Hell no. That's not the act of a loving God. That's the act of a sociopath. Now, for not believing in the Christian God, you're supposed to go to hell too. Well, let's examine the Christian God. He slaughtered anyone that got in the way and then says, oh yeah, I'm a loving God. That's not a loving God. That is an abusive boyfriend. Hell, I'm coming up on like 15 minutes. I'll continue this on another video. But you see where I'm going? If you're in religion because of fear, if you're in religion because you really love it, great. Keep going. If you're in religion because you're afraid you're going to hell, don't. I think even religious people would say don't. Well, till next time, my fellow heathens. Goodbye.